Hey, welcome to the stream. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Hope you've had a good day. Hope it's been fairly chill. My Sunday was cool. I went out for a little stroll with the family. Went around like a nice little canal, nice little walk. It was calm. Got ourselves a coffee, sat on a bench, you know, that cool stuff. Just enjoyed the day really. And it's one of those tricky things where it was nice and sunny, but actually not that warm, you know, less warm than it would look like considering how sunny it was, so it was a bit odd. But anyway, yeah, like I say, hey, welcome back, hope you're good. Yeah, so today we're going to carry on with playing some Sackboy. So made some good progress on Friday. Going to play this today. Tomorrow I think I'm going to play Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening again, because that was quite fun. So, you know, slightly change up in some of the games that we'll be playing. Playing a few more games that are something that I want to play. Like I say, Sackboy, really want to finish this, so that'd be quite good. We see where we get to tonight. But yeah. So, like I say, welcome along. I'm Meki Meki, or Meki for short. I always forget to do that, so, you know, if you're wondering how it's said, how it's spelt, etc., you can see how it's spelt, but you've probably not heard how it's said. So like I say, most people are comfortable saying Meki for short. Yeah, and without much more chatting, we'll get on with the game. So yeah, just give me a shout, say hello in the chat, let me know how your Sunday's been. Let me know what you've been up to. Like I say, if you got out, if you had a nice Sunday meal, whatever you did, give me a shout, yeah. Cool. Let's get into it. So I think the last thing we did was this level here, or this one. Oh, we already done? No, we've just started this level, this area. We're doing this one, then this one. Cool, cool. Off we go. So I've got the Twitch soundtrack on again. I'm not sure if you can hear it though, because when I put this on, I got weird feedback off the soundtrack source. So just let me know if you're getting like double. You should be able to hear everything that's in the game. There we go. Okay. He's gonna disappear, right? Yes. Anything that way? Anything this way? No. There you go. I'm guessing we probably can't engage with those things. Oh, look at that. Oh damn. Oh damn. So I'll tell you what, it's interesting because obviously we cannot do any damage. Those big ones. Well, it doesn't look like it anyway. It doesn't look like we can actually hurt those big ones, because normally on those big ones you can jump on top of them, but that thing's covered in spikes, you know? Let's just have a look and see if there's anything there. Like I say, I hope your summer's been good. Nothing wrong with a quiet Sunday. I think sometimes you just need it, especially after long weeks, you know? And obviously, most people, well, a lot of people are back to work tomorrow, you know, so it's always tough. Getting this thing done. Is there something this way? Yes. Good, good, good. I'm never sure about what I'm going to need to go back for, you know? Especially because this game is very good at finding putting little things that you have to come back for. Little things that may not be obvious while you're playing it. See, I don't trust it because I reckon there's something that way. We're gonna get those doubles when we can. Oh. There you go. See? I knew there was something there. I had a feeling. I'm just gonna double check these things here. Because although... Yeah, okay. It's that thing where you never know with this game. Like I said the last time, every time you think you found everything, you'll go and then find out you're completely wrong. Whoa! Damn it. There you go. Is this a secret area? Are we meant to go here? No, don't do that. What do we need this for? Oh, no. I feel like that was something we actually needed. Yeah, because why it wouldn't reproduce them if there's no reason. Oh, that's cool. I like that. It's a nice little touch. Nice little puzzle to it. Look, oh, okay. We go here. All of these. Yes, look at that. Nice little surprise. Can we go through here? Will that work there? Yeah. Result. I'm going to put that one down for now. That is very useful. Oh, he's gone. Left him for too long. I think we don't need him now, actually. That's pretty good. Right, we've still got our boomerang. Is this dude in the swimming stuff, the scuba stuff? Or snorkel, anyway. He's drowning there. Like I said, I do wonder if you, once you finish the levels, you can come back with... there's like a mode where you can come back with stuff that you didn't have before. I don't know. There we go. Oh, I'm gonna get stuck. I don't know what the thing is that we're going for here. What did we miss? I don't understand. Can we go back? Did I miss? What did I miss? I don't really understand. Oh well. Right, let's go. Looks like a guppy. Oh. Interesting. Somehow, when you put them in the light of the jellyfish, you can then knock those off. There we go. That's him done. Oh! Unlocking all kinds of things. Nice. There you go, so we got another knitted nighttail thing going on. See, you know what? When these things happen, like there's clearly... there's clearly more to this. No! Why won't he double jump? You won't double jump off that. I miss it, I swear. I'm double pressing. Won't double jump. There you go. Man, I was sitting there thinking, what am I doing wrong? There you go. No! Ah, annoying. So close. Right, let's just make sure you can hear me properly. Right, okay, cool. Right, quickly. Yeah. No! There you go. Oh, shit. Ah, that's annoying. Okay, I realise what I did wrong. That's fine. There you go. Got there in the end. Oh. So I haven't missed one yet, which is good. Right, how are my levels? Okay. I think I'm coming through alright. Hold on a sec. Right, is that better? I think so. Okay, cool. I think it was just a tad too far away. So now that should be a lot better. Okay, let's get on with it. Right, so much better. Nice, another costume. Oh, okay. Let's see what they've done there. This feels like I'm missing out on something. Ah. Yep, there you go, that's what I was missing out on. Something very important, now I've got all of them. Okay, sweet. Okay. Off we go. Can't do anything about these guys. There you go. That's all good. So I think that actually that is all of the collectibles. I could be wrong, but... No, he doesn't like that. There we go, and off we go. Oh, here's me. I was thinking... I stopped because I was like, oh, I'm at the end, clearly. I was not. Just in case you were wondering. Right, there you go. Good. Not really that fussed about that. Want to make sure that we make it home. There we go. Not bad. And done. Could have been a lot worse. I'm not sure if you're actually hearing that Streamlabs, it's not Streamlabs, sorry. Twitch soundtrack. I'm not sure if that's actually playing for you. It should be. I don't think it is. There you go, we got all of those. Like I say, I've removed, in case you weren't here before, I removed the game music just because they use a lot of original music. I don't want to get any DMCA business. I'm only a little stream. I don't need the drama, mate. I mean, to be honest, I'd find it really annoying if, you know... I don't mind muted audio within the videos. That's fine, it doesn't bother me. Just that thing where, especially if there are levels where it's just huge chunks of muted audio. And especially, there was a level that was like Uptown Funk, there was another level that was like Jungle Boogie. It's just not worth the hassle. So hopefully you're alright with hearing my voice and hearing the game noises and the VFX and sound effects. Those sound effects is what I meant. Oh. You know what? I thought to myself, oh, he's got that boomerang still. No, you don't. Okay, that's kind of cool. That is very cool. I like that. That's cool. Oh, okay. No! Damn it. That's why they put a spawn point right there. And then they're like, listen, you're gonna get stuck. Oh! Why? Why? God damn it. There you go. There we go. Yes. Okay. Where's the other one? No! I survived this, okay. That's 1 of 5. Where are the other pieces? Oh, you see, it looks like there's something clearly there. How do we get over there? No! There we go. Oh, I could have done that before. Oh my goodness. Right, I'm doing it. Yes! No! Yeah, all good, all good, all good. There you go. Oh, that's annoying. I kind of want the bomb one. So it'll actually destroy this, but... Nope, not strong enough. Okay. No! Yes. Ah, that was avoidable. Oh well. Here we go again. This looks like it's my last life. Damn. Yes. There you go. Barely got skills to pay the bills. You know, the last time you had to throw that at that and that set off the with something behind it, but I'm guessing can't do it for that. What does that mean? Oh, he's done. Can we go there? There you go. Okay, and then one more, and then we'll be... That will open up for us, I guess? It'd be great if they just fell out, but, you know what. All good. There you go, that is unlocked. Moving on, chat. Moving on. Okay. How are we living now? Yep. No! That is not good. Yeah, I know. You're gonna tell me game over, aren't you? In a second. Hey. Right. It'll be an angle jump, I understand. I feel like, yes, there is another part of it over here. Good, good. At least we're not going to die immediately. There's clearly something up there, but I have no idea how I'm supposed to get up there. Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. Let's just make sure we can be heard. That is the main thing. I don't know why. I think I'm slightly off. There you go. Right, I'm going to do what I did before, which is I'm going to go up and just see if there's anything up here, which there is. I had a feeling that there would be. Okay.
Good to see you again, fellow explorer. You won't believe it, but I finally found him. Yeah, Big Mo, the rarest, meanest fish in all of Craft World. I've been trying to catch a glimpse of this fish all my life. Of course, I had to hide soon as he saw me. That is one angry aquarian life form. Or maybe he was just guarding this odd-looking egg. Here, why don't you hang on to it?
Yeah, I'll take that, mate. Thanks. Result. So we haven't pieced that other one together yet.
Taddy bye-bye.
Talks like that, dude. No one. Double check. Yep, that's fine. Nothing up there. Okay. Oh shit. Oh! Damn it, Sackboy. I mean, it was clearly my fault, but I'm blaming Sackboy. Right, there you go. There you go. Nope, I need to go up here. There you go. Oh man, so I missed like one bit of that. That's so annoying. I thought I had it all. I thought I'd managed to get it all, but clearly not. Oh well. So I missed two. Yeah. Double check there's no secret last minute thing. No. I think that might be the lowest amount of orbs I've had in a while. Yeah, I just want to double check because I swear it's doubling up my voice. Yeah. Very strange. Anyway. Right, I'm going to do this knitted night trail. I think there's one that I haven't done.
Ready to tackle some new challenges? You've unlocked a few.
So it'd be interesting to hear how it goes. Because that let's bounce. I was just like, nope. I'll try it a couple, but there's no point. I don't want you sitting there watching me fail over and over again. And especially because then it becomes no fun for me either, you know? Right, let's go. No, there you go, made it. Oh, you're gonna flip on me, son of a monkfish. There we go. There we go, made that. Oh, that was close. Oh, another one that was close. Oh! It's alright. We'll go back. We don't need that. That's fine.
Ah, it's all right. Just...
Yeah. Maybe when I'm feeling a little bit more patient or in the mood to play that and play it. Right, let me just, I'm just going to double check something. Okay. Wanted to double check something because I'm not sure if closed captioning is running or not. It's meant to be. I don't know why it's not. Can't see that it is. I apologise to anybody who, if you were trying to join with the closed captions and it's not working for you. I don't know what's going on with it. Should be running as I'm speaking now, so I haven't really got a way to monitor it. Yeah. Anyway, okay. We'll carry on playing, that's fine. Double check there's no hidden things back here. There we go. Yes, so that's this job, right? Yeah. You know how jarring it is that when you can grab and throw in like really easily. You can re-grab it without even trying. Right, there you go. I'm not really sure how that got me. Anyway, right, so why is that number 3? Oh, where'd that go? I swear, Sackboy, why are you being jarring for? No. You know, that's annoying because it didn't seem like he was that close. It felt like he was further away, right? But that just Like, nope. Just throw it. What? I'll let him regrow. Oh, okay. There we go. So that is worth it because of that. Ow! Ow. Did not feel like I'm close enough for that to be such an issue. Honestly. This concerns me because there's only 3 in this level. Seems like we're missing. Ugh, excuse me. So I just wanted to make sure all the sneezing was done with, so you didn't have to hear that over and over again. Because I know there's nothing more jarring than hearing somebody sneeze a lot. Anyway. What's up? Oh, hey! How you going? How you doing, man? Playing some, Sackboy, bit of a chilled out evening. Yeah, good man, good. So had a really chilled Sunday. Went for a nice little walk. What about yourself? Oh. Oh, this is PS5. Yeah. I was lucky enough to catch one, you know. Took some doing that, man. Lots of refreshing pages. Oh man, this thing's getting... I'm dying a fair amount, but, you know, it's the pressure of Sackboy. Oh, I swear to you, this mechanic. Yeah. Yeah, I know, dude. It's one of those things where it's literally like a handful of people, I think. And man, it's tough. There's one of my friends, like, he really wants to play this, he really wants to play a couple other games, and it's just like, can't, because, you know, the crossplay is weird on some stuff. So yeah, man, definitely. Especially because I know there's like multiplayer levels on this. And I think, you know, it's funny because this was a game that I was actually... I think at first I was like, I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know why they designed it like that. It's like Overcooked. I have Overcooked 1. And I can play it if I play the PS4 version. If I tried to play like what's it called, the full course or whatever the name of, you know, like the full version is. I can't do it with somebody else who's got 1 or 2. It's so weird, man. How are you finding your PS5? Yeah, do you know, I was saying to somebody the other day, I think this is probably the first time in, how many console generations, like 2, where it's been low on games. I think this happened a while ago with like maybe PS1 or PS2, where like early days there weren't that many good games. Well, there weren't that many games, sorry, not good games, that's unfair. And then we had to wait. And I think, you know, we're going to get some really high quality stuff, but I think we're going to have to wait a while. You know, which is fun, because I'd rather that than be in a position like with Cyberpunk, where, you know, so many people have so many problems. Yeah, I mean, for me, Miles Morales looked amazing, but so far, weirdly, like the best experience has been Astros. And I think as well, I don't know if you play any like rallying games or anything like that, WRC9 that really makes use of the dual sense, and it's one of those things where I'm like, if this is just the start of what we're going to get, I think we're in luck for some really good stuff, man. I'm so surprised because like when you're, yeah, exactly, it's like the perfect playable tech demo that then is enjoyable to play a couple of times. I mean, I really struggle. I don't do trophy hunting just because there's so many games to finish in the backlog, like PS4 games still. But you just look at that and you just think like how well it does everything that it does. They need to do more of that. And like I say, WRC9, when you're driving in that game, you feel like you've got the gravel underneath the wheels, underneath the car. It's that level of detail. I think so far those are the 2 games that I think they've used it well. You know, apart from that, like sports games where they put a little bit of tension when you're running, when you're fatigued, and aside from that, I don't think we've seen it properly utilised. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to when they level up, when we start getting good games, man. You know, like I think I'm looking forward to Kena or whatever they called it. I think that's going to be a really good game. I hope it's a good balance, you know, between like long and short. And that's another thing as well. Like, not everything for me needs to be massive. Yeah, exactly, man. And especially because, you know, like, I think it's that thing of, I never had a PS3, but I know a lot of people said that as a controller, they touted a lot of stuff, and then it never really delivered on it. And I mean, maybe that's unfair, and I'm not really in a position to say. But like, for me, the DualShock 4, you know, like the touchpad was nice, but not many games made proper use of it. a couple of things here and there, you know. So it's one of those things where the mechanics were there, but you never really got a proper use of it. It was just kind of like, hey, here's this thing that it does. Maybe. It depends on if developers can be bothered. Get up there. No. Get up there. Oh, you missed. Yeah, and I think that is the thing of, like, they've also said that if a game is a multi-platform, it's unlikely that they'll make it any different to the experience on Xbox, which for me seems a little bit silly. I know Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I think they patched a load of stuff so that it would be more useful for the DualSense, but again, that's kind of an afterthought rather than, you know, that was their original intention. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Or like the remaster of Uncharted, kind of use that for like you can open the map, which again feels a little bit silly, you know. You've got something there that is not just a gimmick if you use it as not just a gimmick. But we'll see, man, we'll see. Yeah. And you see, that's the thing, like, I loved God of War. I'm tempted to go back and play that again. But I know the experience isn't going to be new, it's just going to look prettier. But then that being said, I think it looks great already. Oh, thanks, man, I appreciate that. That's just here. So there you go, that's a new, I added those follow alerts today. So a little bit of Jaws for you, so thank you, man, I appreciate that. Literally first person to use it, so congratulations. You got to see the Jaws follow notification in full effect. And hopefully you could hear it and I wasn't talking too much over it, man. But yeah, I mean, listen, I'm all for some of the remasters. I think it has to be like a big and proper remaster. You know, like, I think everyone's kind of holding out for, you know, things like Last of Us, but fully remastered. So I think it'll be interesting to see, firstly, if they do that, which I think they probably will. Ooh. And also then what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, do you know, for me, I think that they really pushed the PS4 in terms of what you get from it. You know, like, that felt like a... Like, I'm trying to think what game... There was a game on PS5. No, PS5, what am I talking about? There's a game on PS2 where it was like you truly felt like that was the most they could possibly get out of the console, and I feel like that with Final Fantasy VII. Yeah. I really think that was that God of War, Ghost of Tsushima are like the best they could have got out of PS4. And I had a base model and still do. So it was, you know, at times it was like a jet taking off, man. It was interesting. You could really hear on some games. And Ghost kind of broke my brain because I couldn't believe the loading time was like next to nothing. You know, that game loaded up so quick, and you fast travel wouldn't feel like a chore. Because I know, like, Red Dead looks amazing, plays amazing, but I know if you fast traveled, you'd be like, oh, this is going to take me ages. And, you know, the thing for me is, like, I'm a child of the 80s, you know, I kind of, loading times became something that we had to live with. Yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, I think I hoovered mine a couple of times, and I was running a lot of stuff off external drive just to try and save it. Doing that, I stopped buying discs because I'd seen how much it took out of it. Oh, got caught. Damn. No, Sackboy. Yeah. And I know, like Cyberpunk, people said that if you had a base PS4, you might as well forget playing that because it's just not going to play. Ooh. Oh, damn it, Sackboy. Sackboy's giving me grief. He's going to die. Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you know, again, it's funny to think that God of War and Spider-Man were, what, like 2018 roughly? 20, something around that time? But if you play them today, if you play them on a base PS4 today, you'd still be like, wow, this looks amazing. It's just that, I think as well, like some developers just do such a better job of pushing the hardware, and some don't bother. Some, it's just that they're just like, hey, we're just making it. Right, I think I've got the rhythm of this. There you go. Yeah. Well, I think this is the thing for this generation. I think it will be about the smart things that the console does, rather than, you know, like FIFA or NBA 2K or, you know, any of those sports games, Madden, whatever. I think that's probably the most you're going to see out of it. Yeah, I mean, the thing for me is, Miles Morales, when you're in a building, you jump through something, through a vent, to go back outside. Like those assets that were in Spider-Man, like even when you left the building, you're like, okay, it's going to take a while to load up. That instant going from inside a building to outside is insane. And I saw, my nephew sent me this thing where it like broke down how they built all the assets and how they had to replicate people over and over again. And because they replicate the people walking around as just on the street, it took so much of the processor to do that, which is why like the loading time's slow. So they could strip out people in the city and it'd be quicker, but it wasn't really worth it because then New York didn't look like New York. But now, you know, the speed of playing the remaster, speed of playing Miles Morales, and like I say, going from one place to another, it's instantly you're back in the world. There's no load to then flip the assets from being a building and everything inside the building. It's the building's there, and then so's the outside as well. So there'll be more of that. There'll be more of these quicker loading times. What I'm hoping they do is more around the compression. Because I think if they can compress the games down, I think that stress on the hard drive space or SSD space, you know, and make everybody happy. Because I'm a little bit annoyed that at the moment, you know, I bought a hard drive with the intention of that's where the games are going to sit to try and save the SSD, but then there's no actual, oh damn it. There's no benefit of doing that because you don't benefit from the speed. You're kind of stuck with it being as... Why does that catch me? I'm not making that jump. Yeah, you're not benefit. There's no benefit from the speed because it's not sat in the same place to run it that quickly. What am I doing here? Oh no! Yeah. And you know, that's the thing for me as well. I think that's going to happen less, where a game has an update that is almost as big, if not bigger, than some full games. I'm going here. You know if I can make it? No. Yeah, and do you know, talking of that, I have a friend who he played Call of Duty, but he got to a point where every time he would load up, there'd be a massive update. And the update was so big that he had to delete other stuff off his hard drive because he wasn't using an external drive. And then his Wi-Fi was bad as well. So like, you couple that, and it was like, it took him, like, and I'm not exaggerating, because for the most part he wasn't leaving it in rest mode or whatever, but like 2 or 3 days sometimes to do the download, because he's at home, he's like, right, I'll leave it on now, then I'll come back to it because I can't do it now. Yeah, and it was just such a like pain in the ass to do.
You've made it to my... Well, you could have at least let me finish my prologue before you half-edged that. You're not supposed to touch stuff here.
That's the thing, I know even this Call of Duty is pretty big, but it's nowhere near the same sort of size as it was. Yeah. Yeah, and do you know, quite early on I think I figured out that I needed a bigger hard drive, so I think I changed it to like one of the Samsung hard drives, so I switched it out and I had a terabyte in the thing itself, and then I bought like one of the Western Digital ones just because that was a better option, and then it ends up being, you know, like a considerable update, but it gets expensive. You know, it gets to the point where you've spent a couple £100 on... Oh, I need to go up there. You spent a couple £100 on a hard drive, as well as everything else. You know, it's kind of not cool, the amount that you then spend to play a couple of games. You know, it becomes that thing where you really have to consider what is important on your hard drive space. Yeah, and then re-download stuff eventually when you actually want to play it. But like I said, I think hopefully they'll figure out something else, because I wonder why Sony have been not quiet, but why they haven't said to us, like, don't worry about that hard drive space. So either they're going to get like dedicated hard drives. Yeah, dude, same thing, and I'm so annoyed with it. I haven't had a chance to use it. Like, I bought, you know, that Western Digital, the black hard drive, the one that's all like, what do you call it? Not ribbed, but where it's got that kind of military look to it. But cannot use it now, and I'm annoyed because I bought it literally with the desire to put all the PS5 games, because that's what I thought I was going to be doing. It's kind of just, it's sat there, and I can't use it for anything else. I mean, I can, but there's nothing that I desperately need to use it for. I literally bought it for that reason. and then, you know, then turn around and they didn't even say it. Yeah. Like I say, I don't know if it's because they're worried that in order for you to get the best quality, you need to run it off the SSD, and then that way you can't blame them. I don't know, it seems like a really odd choice. Like, I know, the funny thing is that Xbox, you know, everyone thought gone are the days of a memory card. And they've got that thing that, yeah, same. I'm literally, all I did with that is just unplugged the one I was already using, put it into the PS5. But it's that thing where, you know, like I say, you thought, oh, I'm done with... at least I did. I was like, oh, must be done with memory cards. But I just don't know what they're going to do. And it's tough because, you know, the way they made it sound to people was like, actually, you will have options. And then it was only really last minute where they were like, actually, no, you can't do that. Oh, I've just seen where that thing was. Damn it. But yeah, I mean, like I say, hopefully we'll find out soon, or we'll hear soon that they've got plans. Because I don't mind. With the PS4 I did it, you know, opened it up, put in a new hard drive. It was really easy, simple, straightforward. Couple of screws, plugged it in. I think at first it wasn't responding, and then I, you know, just gave it an extra nudge and it was fine. But yeah, this lack of information. It's annoying as well, because when they did those teardowns, you know, they showed the space where clearly something could go, but they're not advising anybody. They're not saying to anybody, oh, by the way, here's what to do. So we'll see. I mean, it's funny because I finished... What did I finish? I finished Immortals the other day. Yeah. What you like to do is God of War. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You see, now that's why I was thinking to myself, I'll go back. And it's funny because I'm trying to resist playing what other people are playing, especially on stream. I think I maybe do that just for myself, you know. But yeah, I'm glad that it does save that space. And I mean, to be honest, again, I think a lot of people are expecting that maybe they're going to get proper upgrades, but I don't know how much more you're going to get out of Ghost of Tsushima, because I think it looks and plays so well.
Welcome to the collectible zone. Get ready.
And that game for me, I was so surprised at how good it was. And I think it's odd because it didn't get a lot of love from some reviews. You know, like, obviously it just goes to show you should give reviews like take it with a pinch of salt, because you just never know. And like Immortals, I really like that. In the end, at first I was like, you know, like right now,
No more time now.
if something else comes out and I haven't got the space, I think that game's going to go because I finished it. And it's annoying as well because I've stopped buying physical media just because of the space in the house. You know, you run out of space. Yeah, completely. That's a perfect way to put it. I also think that, you know, it was a big game in terms of how it felt, and the world itself, like the island itself or islands, felt big, but they weren't so big that you were like, oh, this is a slog. And I think that's the thing for me. Like Assassin's Creed, I almost think that they've gone too big. Yeah. Well, you see, I think, wasn't there a point where everybody was thinking that that's what they were doing? And it's that thing, you know, if Ubisoft make any kind of announcement. Yeah. And, you know, like, obviously, gonna keep it spoiler-free for other people. But in terms of how you felt about the characters, you know, I read some reviews where they said, like, the main character's not that interesting, and I disagree. I think his arc, I think what he goes through, is really interesting. And I do think the beauty of that story is the other people around him and what they go through. But it's also then how he helps them come to terms with it and how they help him, you know. And yeah, like I say, I'm so impressed by that. And it's that odd thing of, like, Sucker Punch haven't disappointed in the past, so why was everybody so worried about the quality? You know, why am I missing that? I don't understand. Okay, I'm just the wrong angle. Yeah. I wonder if it's because maybe they have an approach where they say, listen, we're going to take our time with this. Yeah. Oh, that will hit me. Yeah, do you know, I do worry about that a little bit, because I do hope that we don't just get these siloed studios, and we don't then get the quality that we deserve. But I also think that maybe there is some point down the road where Microsoft and Sony can at least chat with each other. You know, and like I say, for the benefit of all of us, not just them as hardware companies, or however you want to take it. I mean, Naughty Dog's another one as well, you know. It's so impressive what they can do and what they get out of hardware. Yeah. Yeah. And again, it kind of makes me wonder if, like, I know it's not the case, but are, like, the dev kits different or something? Like, what are we missing? Oh, I dropped. Like, because they, like, literally, those teams, they got so much out of the hardware for all the systems. Like, I know Uncharted 4 looks fantastic. I know the storyline is not, you know, some people have issues with it, some people like it's not quite what they wanted it to be. But I think, again, look at that for a PS4 game. And there's some set pieces that are just fantastic. And they do such a good job, again, of mixing the storytelling with the action. Yeah, maybe. I wonder as well if it's, again, where some developers are like, listen, I've got to make it across all of these things. so they don't want to spend time making one better than the other. I've got to catch that thing. Come on. Yeah. And again, I know some people hate Final Fantasy 15, but I think look at what they did with that. In terms of again scope, I think that game looks amazing for a PS4 game. I haven't played the, you know, optimized or whatever you want to call it, the slightly upgraded version for PS. Well, the better frame rate version or frames per second. I mean, that was another one where I'm just like, man, they know what they're doing. There we go. That's where it is. I think, like I say, this generation of games, I just really expect us to see something different. And I think we'll also get a fair few games that are about the, like, making the game interesting. Like doing something unique with the experience rather than it being just a, here's how great this looks. So I think, you know, like when you see Deathloop, I know for now it's a timed exclusive, and I think, you know, whether or not I pick it up is a big question mark for me anyway. But I think if you look at the art style of that and the concept of that, yeah, do you know, how did you feel about Avengers?
Whoa!
You're saying you enjoyed it. Because again, I think, you know, what I was saying to somebody earlier, I think in the Discord actually, you know, like Monster Hunter, I really enjoyed playing that. I haven't played it as much as I should have done, and I think it's because as an experience it's probably a lot better with people when you're playing with people. I think it's the same thing for me with Avengers. Like, yeah. And the thing for me as well is that, like, I think when you do a mission that isn't the main story, it just feels like it's the same enemies with different skins. That's my take on it anyway. I just feel like there's not enough where I sit there and think to myself, oh yeah, I desperately want to go back and play that level because it was fun. You know, I think hopefully when they add this, because when's the PS5 version coming out? In March, I think. I'm hoping that we get something that is really worth the journey back to it. You know, like, something I struggled with was, and I don't know if you have this experience, I kept on getting this camera glitch. I'd go in and then the camera would circle around, like, Kamala or whoever, and then it would, yeah, okay, March 18th. So I'd get this camera glitch, and it'd be not specific levels, there was no specific time, I'd be playing, it'd be perfectly fine, and then out of the blue, we'll just do this weird camera glitch. And I got to a point where I was like, I can't keep on playing this, because it's so distracting. Now I think they've patched it, because I played it a week and a half ago, just went back to do some more stuff, and it seems like they've put it away. 426. Yeah, and just something like that I think it's a simple thing to not have in your game.
Get him! Well, that's right, they're on strike because I stopped paying them.
And
Tell
as
you
well,
what,
like,
you get rid of
for me,
that
the beta, I
squidge
played the
of
beta,
and we'll say no more.
and then I was slightly
See
disappointed
nothing, and you
because
can turn me into
a
crab
lot
cakes
of
with sweet chili and ginger dipping
what
sauces.
I then
Paper
played
pudding.
after the beta was the beta. You know? It was like, you baited it, you played it, but actually none of your progress got saved. You redid some of the missions. Oh, yeah. You just couldn't see him. Yeah, because I think for me, it would happen like I'd be in on the helicarrier. I think we'd do it. Yeah, so that's the thing. There's a buddy of mine who he's finishing Cyberpunk before he then jumps over to Avengers. And my concern is he's going to do it far too late. I think it's that thing of, you know, what we were talking about before, where he's got a PS4, and I worry by the time he gets to it, I'll be playing the PS5 version because it's better. So yeah, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, listen. The thing for me is I desperately want that game to be better, and I'm hoping that because... How do I put this? This is going to sound so cynical. I hope it's because they knew they were going to make the PS5 version the best experience they could, that they kind of took a moment and said, listen, there's a lot of bugs, so either we fix some of the problems that we've got on this version, or we focus on the PS5 version. And I'm hoping, cynical as that might sound, that's what they did. And if it is, then part of me can at least accept that that's why that wasn't quite the experience that I wanted it to be. Yeah, I think you're completely right. When the Hawkeye version comes out, or Hawkeye DLC, sorry, it'll be worth revisiting and seeing how it plays. And I think on PS5, hopefully, it is a different experience. You know, it's funny because, like, I don't know if you've ever played Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I really wanted that game to be that. Yeah. And listen, that's their chance to fix everything that people had a problem with. You know, they can really address people's complaints. Oh no! Ah. And I think, do you know, the really funny thing is, I think a lot of people wanted, like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance again. That game wasn't bad. And I think, what was there was a, I want to say, there was like a free-to-play game on PlayStation 4 that was like Marvel Heroes or something like that. I forget what it was called.
I'm so glad you made it. Stealing all these tithes is just no fun without an audience. There's no need for that. You and I, we have so much in common. You wanted change, adventure, and I gave them to you. So come on.
But like, yeah, I think a lot of people wanted Ultimate Alliance. And I think if you did that as a 4-player online game,
see?
You know, where you had fixed skills,
soon the
you could
will be
do different kinds of team-ups. So if you put all the Fantastic Four together, there's like a health benefit or a damage benefit or whatever.
You will regret this.
You know, it kind of had that Diablo feel to it. where it was kind of top down, but not really. And I know number 3 came out on the Switch, but again, just feels like an odd choice.
You hurt
there.
my feelings. Now I'm going to hurt you. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten your favorite. Reverse course!
Why did I not do this? I swear I did this level before.
This isn't funny anymore. This packs a real punch. Want to see my secret fishing technique? Here it comes. Ah! No!
I mean, to be honest, I think
Back and forth. Feeling dizzy yet?
we'll see what happens with it. Yeah. Oh man. Well, I think, is it the, am I wrong in thinking there's another one, there was another one earlier in the game that is like this?
Let's bring
It's kind of
things to a
that
nice
thing where you have
simmer.
to make sure you're paying attention. Oh, go down this way. Oh. Oh, damn. Yeah, there is, yeah. That's what I thought. Because I was like, am I having deja vu? I know I have a terrible memory sometimes, but
How about a game of whack-a-sack?
you got me.
Sackboy, Evola!
Oh, Vex, didn't it, baby? There we go. Is that him done? Yes.
Your worst
There you go,
nightmares
good,
are
good.
about to come true, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Sorry, 2 secs.
I know how you feel, but you can still save them. There have been many knitted knights in Craftworld's history, each one unwilling to give up, no matter what the odds were. When their time's up, they ascend to the Imagisphere and watch over us, always. So remember, you're not doing this alone.
I think, you know,
Yes, and you've got me too.
it'd be interesting to
So
see what
where are
happens
you
with some of
off
those
to
Star Wars
next?
games. I'm glad that
If it's stars he's after,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
no better place than the
have less of a
interstellar
monopoly on it.
where no suck person
and it's funny
has
'cause
gone before.
Again,
No, wait, actually, I
you
think
know,
I have
I
gone there
know
before.
I didn't play, is it Squadrons that was that recent game? It's probably about the only Star Wars game that's been out recently, aside from Fallen Order, that I've actually been like, yeah, you know, I really want to play this. That Battlefront for me, like I just feel like that gets really old. And there's, you know, a lot of the focus on multiplayer, when I know people are screaming out for just a single player Star Wars experience. You know, like, or a single player, but in a multiplayer world, or something like, you know, like Knights of the Old Republic. I know people are really kind of jonesing for that. Yeah, see, now that's the thing. The dogfights in that kind of remind me of Rogue Squadron 2 on the GameCube. Where it's just kind of like, it's just a lot of fun. It's the dogfights. It's, you know, the famous stuff from all the games and then some random stuff chucked in. But yeah, I just think, yeah, see, and that's my thing. I think people are like, they want an experience like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be called Knights of the Old Republic. It can be set in the world. It can be set almost to the degree with the same engine, or at least same principles, and I think people would love it. But you know, it's like I say it over and over again. One of my favourites of all time is Metal Gear Solid, the first one. I think that as a story and as a game, you know, it's contained in a way that makes sense. It's not overly huge and long. I think they tell a good story in the time that they do.
Welcome to the
I think it fits in how it was then and there,
I'm the non-aggressive overseer of massive
and
intelligence.
plays
But you
really
can
well.
call me Naomi.
But then I
Alrighty.
played
What
the
brings you here today?
GameCube port, the Twin
Of
Snakes one.
course, you're Sackboy. On a mission to stop
And
Vex
although it
from
looked
draining
prettier,
all the stars
what
of
I
their
really
power to
struggled with
fuel his
was the
topsy-turver.
mechanics
Then
on
I've got
a
just the thing
GameCube
to
pad.
help.
And I
pair
played it
of high
a couple of weeks back,
velocity,
actually,
instantly
or,
rechargeable
yeah, maybe about
plasma
3 or 4 weeks
pumps.
ago.
Now with
And
100%
it just
more.
was really clunky.
Perfect for all your
Now,
world-saving
I think
needs. Now,
that was
please
probably
proceed
because I didn't
down
know what the buttons
concourse.
were.
I hope you find your stay short and legal.
But I think that's what I would like with Metal Gear Solid. They could give me the same graphics. They could give me the same soundtrack. They could give me literally everything that is the same.
Try our famous beauty salon, now equipped with multi-headed hair dryers.
And I'd be okay with it. You know, and I think it's the same thing with like Knights of the Old Republic. People would happily play if they just gave them that port. I mean, it's really tough because I just don't know how much Konami's interested in that. I don't know how much LucasArts, if they would do that. You know, it's tough, man. We'll see, I guess. I think it's funny because, you know, Jedi Fallen Order is probably the Souls-like game, and I say that. I know it's not people's normal expectations of Souls games. That didn't work. Oh no! That's probably the Souls-like game that I enjoyed the most. Yeah. Well, exactly. And do you know, that drives me a little bit nuts. That game library, the fact that you can get like Fable 2 and things like that, and they're like, yeah, if it's a game that you have and own and you want to play it again, here you go. Yeah, and do you know, I've been tempted to look at like Game Pass, at least to see if what I can get in terms of like my older games. But yeah, like I said, I'd be interested to see if you just get your old library of stuff. Keep walking, guys, down here. Because that's the thing, I mean, maybe this is my misunderstanding. Do you know, is it, like if you play Game Pass, or if you buy Game Pass, do you get everything that you've ever owned? Yeah. Because I had a 360, and I know that there are some things that I definitely probably still have, or should have cloud saves. I don't know, maybe I'll have to double check. Yeah, okay. Because that's the thing, I know I've got games on there. And it's stuff that, you know, you don't realise, or you don't remember that you had until somebody mentions it to you and you're like, oh yeah, shit, I forgot I had this game. Yeah, I think, you know, I might look into that Game Pass. Especially because this laptop is a gaming laptop. So should be able to run like most of the stuff. But yeah, we'll see. Oh. Meant to be a battery there. Where is the battery? Can I take these batteries from here? Won't let me do that? Yes. Yeah, I think, like I say, I'll take a look at that. And especially because I know, like, there is a charm to the fact that you can use, like, Xbox pads on laptops and stuff. Oh, don't throw it. I can't believe I did that. Yeah, like I said, I think it'd be cool. I know you can set up the DualSense to run off a laptop. I think it might break people's brains there if I did that. Right, how do I put this down? Can I just push that? Oh. Oh. There we go. That was worth the journey. Yeah, and like I say, I mean, there's a load of experiences that I think it'd be cool to go back and play. At Fable 3, that was a lot of fun playing that. And I think it'd be cool to go back and play now. Especially with the benefit of, you know, experience.
We would like to remind you that any baggage left unattended will be vaporized.
Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, and I think in terms of, you know, like next-gen consoles, I think, you know, when the availability's up, and hopefully the price will come down a bit, I think it'd be interesting to pick up both, at least so you know that you can play pretty much all the experiences that you want. But yeah, I suppose the biggest thing about that is, like I said, money and availability of consoles, man. Because I know some people have said that they've got Xbox Series X, and they really want to pick up a PS5, but obviously, like, those scalpers screwing it up for them. I know one guy who he was up till like 3 AM trying to get it, and man, he just said, like, all their effort that he went through.
Suffering from stereotypical sci-fi glitches. Perhaps you should
Went through a load of effort just to find out that actually
said that. Weird.
They weren't available. And it is that messed up thing of like, you know, I don't know how they're so bad at sorting that out. You'd think at this point in time they would have ways around it, or ways to stop it, but, you know, they seem unable to do so. Yeah. And that's the thing, you know, like, knowing that there are some big games potentially coming from studios like that, kind of sours it a little bit that we're back in silo times. And like I say, I kind of hoped that at least there'll be some degree of them working with each other, but I don't know. I think it's really tough, and I think probably what you'll get is a load of timed exclusives that Microsoft will make sure they make their money first before it's even a consideration. But you know, the one thing that still surprises me around the Xbox is that the design for me, I think, is just still pretty bad. But hey, you know, I think at this point in time, it's kind of like, you know, it's about the function more than it is anything else. Yeah. Like I say, I think I might have to at least have a look at Game Pass. And it's annoying because I think, I know there was that time where somebody I knew who said they had... Yeah, but this is the thing. You know, that joke that it looks like a fridge and all that kind of stuff. And, you know,
the 3Gs.
I just think...
Go, go, go!
Again, you've got so many designers. What am I missing here? Oh, no. There we go.
Zoom Zoom is most impressed by your performance. Me, I am Zoom Zoom. Remember? Time is of the essence. Quickly!
Yeah, like I say, you've got so many designers that are undoubtedly involved in your organization, in your company, and you know, that's kind of the best they came up with. And I'm not saying, I know there's a running joke about the PS5 looking like a router. I just think my issue with the PS5 is I think it's so big. I had to measure twice just to make sure it would fit in. But you know, again, it's that thing where I guess it's because of, well, we've seen the fans and we've seen the cooling system and all that kind of stuff. But you just think to yourself, man, you guys couldn't have had a chat and say, hey, is there any way we can make this look like this? So I think, in my honest opinion, I think both of them are ugly consoles. You know, I just think we could have got slightly better looking stuff, but anyway, it is what it is. Yeah, you know, and I used, there was like an app that let you, it's gonna be over there, isn't it? There was an app that let you
the galaxy's safest, most reliable turbo lift to access more floors.
And then demonstrate what it was going to look like for you.
Function.
You'd use AR on it, and you'd like then put it into the space. And I swear to you, even in using that, I could not get it to do. It didn't. It looked smaller in that than it actually was, and also even then it looked massive. I sat there thinking, man, this thing is going to be big. And then fortunately, you know, like when they released the specs and said this is how big it is, I measured and measured and measured and just was like, I have to make sure it would fit. Otherwise I'm just going to catch grief from the wife. Because she was like, yeah, are you sure it's going to fit in that space? And I moved so many things, man. It was such a headache. Yeah.
Welcome to the first floor, where you will find our famous time travel toilets. Go before you need to.
I suppose it is that thing that we know now because of, like I say, function. That's why they are the size they are. But it is odd because they've kind of gone the other way from like TVs and like DVD players and stuff
the
like that.
Mega Mall is home to the best outlets in all the Craftcosm, where you can have your stitches roll until you're nothing but thread.
Whoa. It's like an evil AI. I didn't even pay attention to that. I missed that. Yeah. Like I said, I think for me, it's just knowing that actually it's function over form. And I hope that we're going to get some, yeah, exactly. Do you know what I'm looking forward to? I think we'll get some interesting, like, faceplates and stuff. And again, that's one of those funny things that, like the 360 had. You could take off the front plates, and you could put a different shell on it and stuff. So I wonder when we're going to get those.
Welcome to the third floor,
But
which
I think
boasts a
Sony probably going to
state-of-the-art
focus
gym.
on
Jim runs
getting
our
consoles out to
exercise
people.
and keep fit program.
Because they know that's the biggest issue that people have at the moment is just trying to get their hands on it. But, you know, I heard something. Yeah, exactly. I heard something that some of these people are doing is buying like really expensive PlayStations and scamming, like breaking up the box and then saying that they got a bad. The delivery was terrible or whatever, and then getting the money back. So they're like making out on the money twice. It's all kinds of craziness, man. Oh, nice. That's very cool. I mean, I'm a little bit confused as to why Sony bought with that company that were making the faceplates, and why they seem to have such a problem with it. Like I say, unless it is because they're planning on releasing them, or they've got to deal with, like, trying to think one of those, you know, one of those companies that makes pads and makes accessories and stuff. Because otherwise, I cannot figure out why they would have such a problem with people making them. You know, like they've got no issue with the people who make those, like, the pad fascias and where you stick them over the pad and all that kind of stuff. What I'm looking forward to is when we get, like, the Nancon, like, Revolution type of game pads. But obviously, again, I'm wondering when that's going to happen. Yeah, and, like, they sued those guys, or they were threatening to sue. And then so much so that they were like, okay, we won't make them. I had to change the name of the company like 3 times. And then they were like, oh, actually, it's not worth the headache. Now I think I can't remember, I think it's the same company where they said they're making like a skin that would sit over it as opposed to that is replacing the plate. So I think they're doing that now. I don't know when those are going to be out. But like even that as a choice, it's like why would you cause trouble with a company that's just trying to make your product more interesting unless you have some in with somebody or you've made some agreement with some designer where you said, right, we're going to do this in 6 months' time. I know there's been rumblings about like different colours of the DualShocks, but again, that's one of those things where you think to yourself, I'd rather just know. So you tell me you're going to do the DualSense, sorry, in black, silver, red, blue, whatever. You tell me you're going to do those colours in 6 months' time. I'm like, happy, great. Rather than us going, well, actually, there's a place that I can buy a little silicone cover that would go over it.
Hello? Don't tell me
you know, and then
you
that's
want
the option.
an out of
I just
this
don't know. I
world
mean,
costume
I'm hoping that
for
we're going to
your
get different colour
out of
pads.
this
I'm
world
hoping
adventure.
cynically that it's because they want people to buy the current stock. Like, they want everybody to buy as many DualSenses as they possibly can. But then it's awful because you're going to be in a position where you're going to have like 2 in your house already. It's quite cool. Fair enough. You're going to have 2 maybe in your house already. And the question is, like, do you then go and buy another one just for the sake of it? Or do you wait until it's, you know, in a position where something happened, it doesn't work anymore, and you've got no choice but to replace it? I also wonder if that's why they're being funny about the drift. That they're kind of like, yeah, it's not our fault. Because they want people to have to go and buy another one rather than giving refunds. So we'll see, man. Like I say, I'm kind of partial to like the simplistic black, but I'd also be happy with other colours. You know, like DualShock, I bought the red, and I think I've got like the camo one, just because they were just interesting colours. I mean, again, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been feeling a little strange lately. Nothing to worry about, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, have I made any weird, off-color remarks? If I have, I'm really sorry. It's so embarrassing. This has never happened to me before.
Yeah. I think, you know, it is that thing of, like, clearly they have a design aesthetic in mind, because otherwise they wouldn't do certain things that they do, and a lot of them are not by accident. But then it's kind of like, well, why would you make that doesn't match unless there is some kind of plan to bring out a new version of the PSP? Maybe that's going to come in the near future, who knows?
You'll let me know if I say or do anything odd again, won't you? Because I really want to exterminate the life form known as Sackboy. All other protocols rescinded.
Oh no.
There, it happened again. I'm sorry. Sorry.
There we go. And like I say, I mean, these big companies, a lot of their stuff or what they do is not an accident. So I'd be really intrigued to see what happens, especially over the next 6 months. But I do wonder if they want everybody to have a PlayStation first before they start making these announcements. It's so close. Reach. Jump and reach it. There we go. It's so close. Why can't I reach that? Yeah. I mean, the thing for me is that, like, I must have completely, like, blanked out the previous time there's been scalpers in these kind of things, because I really don't remember it being this bad. but a friend of mine said, no, it was bad for a couple of consoles where they were just so rare at launch. Like it was almost impossible. But I swear to you, I don't remember it being like this before. Again, I think the problem is you know, it's like with some stuff, you have that capture thing that says, you know, I'm not a robot, which is all well and good. You're not a robot. But it is funny that even that doesn't stop them. They're able to put however many they want in their basket, you know, and it's just like, it's crazy. Or they use bots to buy like low quantity but high volume. Is it this one?
I think I figured it out. Someone has infected my subroutines with a virus. So all I need to do is download the latest version of my virus scanner, and I'll be good as new. I hope.
Yeah, you see now, so I can't remember. I could have sworn I got mine at launch, but then I had you know that there was that problem where they would like just beep and eject discs. And mine just sat there and just had like major crashes. So mine was one of those like early ones. The ones where you know, Sony were like, send us the serial number, we'll give you a refund. And I think what ended up happening with me is I had the problem, did all the things with Sony, filled out all the forms and stuff, filled out all the forms. I think I bought it from Amazon originally, and they didn't have any. So it was that thing where they were like, no, we don't have them. But then I think Amazon would, like, there was some, they wouldn't have done what they were going to do. And then they were like, right, here's one at Argos that's, Argos said they have it in stock. And then I had to like rush and get it by a certain time. And it just took a load of effort. But yeah, I think that's what I remember happening with my PS4. And like I said, didn't have PS3, so I don't know if there were the same kind of problems. But I think, yeah, that's what happened, is that they had them at launch, but then they had issues because of some of the problems that they were having. Oh man. Oh my god. Whoa. What's happened there? And I mean, I know, I think with the PS4 it was because of something that was in it that was used to build it, but there was a shortage on that. I think I read something that it's the same thing. Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, it's that thing of like the cynical part of me says, well, maybe it's because they deliberately did a low supply so the demand would be high. But again, difficult to tell. You don't want to be super cynical about the whole thing, you know? I think as well, didn't they say that in terms of Japan, the sales were not where they would have been, or not where they were for PS4, and that it seemed like Microsoft was making more of an effort in the Japanese market, and almost like Sony was, yeah. And I think also, you know, like people being home, yeah. No, definitely. I think scalpers are a pain in the ass. But you know, like,
It's the 3Gs. Go,
people
go,
being
go.
at home, and I know some people it meant that like money was an absolute massive problem, and I really feel for those people. I also know like a load of people it meant they were bored, so they were more likely to buy the console because they're like, I'm home, they've got more time to play it. But you know, it's just one of those
Everyone
things where
is incredibly impressed by you, and by everyone I mean me.
I think
of course.
it's that weird thing of
Time is ticking away.
I cannot remember. I remember pre-ordering a console and then being able to go to the shop and pick it up.
Clock. Stop.
But I'd never had to like refresh the page so quickly. The last thing that I bought something like that was like NFL tickets or something, you know, something that was high demand. It's just so weird. Yeah, man. I like I say, I feel for those people who don't have one, and I sincerely hope people aren't buying those like ridiculous price scalp versions, especially because the risk is so high, man. How do you know you're getting an actual genuine console and the person's not just going to send you like a weighted box? Right, which one am I going to go and do? I'll do this one first. No, and again, man, like, listen, I'm not in their world, so I don't know what goes through their heads apart from money. And I think it's that thing where, you know, like money means that much to them. And they know that there are people who will pay that money. Like, I've heard some stories about people traveling far to go and get it, and you just think to yourself, man. Like, I wanted a console, but there was no way I'm going to pay over the price. And I think if I hadn't have got one, I'd have just have to have been alright with it. Missing a load of things here. No! Okay. Like a giant gun of pinball. But listen, you know, like, people just hustling. Like I say, man, it's that frustration. Yeah. Well, so and that's the thing as well. Like, I think with where I got mine from, there was rumblings it was going to be a particular time. Then they told people this is the time it's actually going to be. It was only because I then, like, really refreshed that I got it. Otherwise, I think I'd have probably been in the same boat. And again, I think it's also annoying because we know that chase this thing. There we go. Yeah. And I mean, that's another sucky thing as well. Like, if you're a website that's based in America, you know, the reason that you're putting it on at 3 AM is because you're an American website. I can kind of understand that more than websites that are UK based. or for UK customers, and then you're like so bad at giving people a time that is reasonable. Again, because, you know, like, then you've got to set an alarm and go through all of that, and then you find that you haven't got one. Missed another one. Damn. Yeah. And again, I heard stories of people being on their website, like, 2:59, refresh. They've got something in their basket. They're not wasting any time, and then they don't get one. And you know, it's like all that effort. Oh, got it. And like the least they could do is try and make it available for you at a reasonable time. Like 8 AM is perfectly fine. And imagine, I wonder the amount of kids that, you know, like, they said to their parent, this is the thing I want nothing else, only thing I care about. And they go through all that effort, you know, they're trying for little Timmy, let's say, and then it just doesn't work out. And then little Timmy's heartbroken, you know, when it comes to Christmas or whatever. Like, what do you do, man? I suppose it's that funny thing as well, like, you know, obviously the brand new consoles were affected by it, but like, you know, the Switch, like the Switch and Ring Fit Adventure, like that stuff was like gone. You couldn't get it for love or money. Now I don't have a Switch, but it's something I've been really thinking about. But I think, you know, there's so many games to play. When you add like more stuff, you add a new system, you get more games. Yeah, and also because you're not going anywhere, so like the portable aspect of it is kind of, you don't benefit from it. But then I'm like, I really want to play Zelda. It's been a long time since I played a Pokemon game, and that Pokemon game the other day looked good, man. I just think to myself, oh, maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. I think it depends, you know. Oh, should have gone then.
Beginning scan. Thank you for your patience. The scan is now complete. This piece of
Got
lead
a
has
bit
been
of a
rejected.
snuffle there.
Ugly, obsolete materials should be disposed of in the heart of a gas giant.
So what are you playing at the moment? What's on the docket, as it were? Yeah. Yeah, and you know, that's the thing as well that is really strange. It feels like a massive misstep, because, you know, content creators help your brand. You know, they can be brand ambassadors for you, but they can't get it, which means they can't talk about your console, which means that you then have those people who don't get to see it. You have people who are like, they don't see that person that they trust their opinions on. They know that person is an interesting person to watch, and they just can't get that viewpoint from somebody. You know, I know there were some people who, like with specific games, like with NBA 2K, there were people who were quite big in the community who they were given a code for the game because 2K wanted them to talk about it and play it. But then to actually get the game, to actually get the console to play the game on, was trouble. And you know, again, and the thing for me as well is, I was talking to somebody about this, that, like, there are streamers, there are content creators, there are YouTubers who I will watch them play something. And people are, you know, like, it might be spoilery, but I'm more likely to watch them play it and go, actually, that game looks pretty good, I think I'll buy it. It seems like they're having fun. But yeah, like I say, it just feels like I missed it. And it is bad because the amount of people that happened to. That's anything. Yeah. I mean, listen, there are a lot of games to play, but I think it's that thing of, you know, like, it's a bit like Fortnite players. If you have somebody who's the best in the world at playing Fortnite, but you can't get them the game, you can't get them the console to play that game on. Imagine how that looks. Just check. Does this lead anywhere? Yes. Secret areas. No. Yeah. Yes. There we go. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, if I was a content creator on that level, man, and it's interesting seeing how some really have to keep up with. This is the thing that's out this week, and I'm playing it for a week, 2 weeks, or whatever. You know, and the lengths they have to go through. And I like some, like Little Nightmares 2. Like, that's not a long game, but I know a load of people, like, that's what they were playing, because that was the thing that was out. They might have had, you know, advanced copies of it. Yeah, exactly, and that's my point. You know, like, if I see a gamer who I think, well, hold on, they're really good at that, maybe I can actually play this. Maybe I'm good enough to play it. And I think that is the influence that they have. You know. I mean, to be honest, you know, like, we've seen Rach play one-handed, you know, or like two hands, two Dark Souls. Like, that is some next level stuff, man. Yeah, like I said, I think it is that weird thing of, you just think they could have made sure some content creators had it beforehand and do that. Yes, she does. She does. I think, you know, like I say, that is the beauty of, like, content creators anyway. That, like, they look like they're having fun, or they are having fun, and it's not forced because you can see that they're enjoying it. But again, I think, you know, sometimes you get companies that they don't want to run the risk of early exposure or exposure that is negative. What's going on here? Oh, I died. But listen, man, I forgot. I'm sure I said earlier, but in case I didn't, I forgot. I really, really appreciate the follow. Appreciate you sticking around and having a chat. Especially because annoyingly, I think my Twitch soundtrack isn't working. So it's that weird thing of it was earlier. It was picking up audio from somebody else. It was a bit like that. Yeah. Oh, I got so close. Yeah, thank you. And yourself, you know. It's good to have chit chats with people, especially at the moment. You know, everyone feels so isolated. You know. And Twitch has been one of those things, man. I've met some really cool and interesting people. I don't think it'd be a slow motion death. It's because it's game over. It's because it's game over. Yeah, do you know, I've been learning so much about Twitch and Discord recently. It's funny because I think I said to some of the peeps on there, the first one I joined, I think I accidentally joined and then I panicked because I was like, I don't think I'm meant to be in this. You know, because I wasn't sure if it was specific conversations or whatever.
Beginning scan. Thank you for your patience. The scan is now complete.
You know, it's that thing where you click on something.
This piece of luggage has been rejected. Ugly, obsolete materials.
And it's such a good community. I mean, it goes without saying. I think everybody's so nice to each other. I think everybody's supportive. You know, you can see. So there's something here. There's something there. Yeah. And that's the thing, it says a lot about that's what she's garnered, you know, and made sure that it is that kind of community. It can't be easy, you know. I've joined some other Discords and no shade on anybody else, but it's like I don't see the same level of engagement on some. And I think considering the size of the community, you know, it's impressive that it can still be that way and engaged with, and yeah, just amazing. There's lots of good people doing good things. And it is that funny thing, I think, squished. There was a conversation about it the other day, of like, find it inspiring seeing what other people do. And that you think to yourself, oh right, okay, I can learn a lot from this. And in a way that isn't like, it's not, you're not begging, you're not being forceful, you know, it's like I said, everyone's been so supportive and stuff like that, so yeah, man, unbelievable. And it's really cool talking to other people and people that I can chat to about stuff that, you know, you can have a serious conversation, you can have a silly conversation, and that's always fun, man. To be why am I struggling with this level? Goodness. There you go, got some lives back there. That's the thing, like I said, I know Twitch is so big that sometimes it's like, where do you even begin? I think some of my early streams, man, were rough. So hopefully they're getting a lot smoother, but you know, we were talking the other day about tech issues. Literally had one today. Like I say, added Twitch soundtracks and I cannot get it, like it stopped working. Earlier I was getting audio from somebody else's stream. I was like, no, I can't have that. Everywhere this way. Aha. Yeah, always. Yeah. I mean, I had yesterday. No, not yesterday, sorry. Friday. I had I didn't realise I wasn't getting game audio. I was sat there, talking away. I had Twitch soundtrack working, and they couldn't hear the actual game. And it was only because I had it on the other monitor, on the TV. I could hear, like, it loud enough. Fortunately, the mic wasn't picking it up, but, you know, it was just one of those things. It's so funny. Every time you think, oh, I've got this sorted, now I know what I'm doing, I know my flow, everything's great. And the next thing you know, that's fine. Next thing you know, there's something bound to haunt you. You know. Why aren't these moving? What am I missing? Should this be doing? No. What am I missing? So that moves there. Oh my goodness. You've just saved a load of headache for me. I was like, I must have missed. Oh man. See? This is why sometimes I need help. I sat there, I was thinking to myself, why isn't it doing anything? That's literally why. 100% right. It's motion control. So I'm thinking to myself, what is going on with this? What am I not pressing? Thank you, lifesaver. Do you know, I guarantee you there's something on one of these that I haven't done because of that. Yeah, do you know, it is funny because, again, what was I playing? When I was playing Immortals, there was some puzzle, and I spent ages looking at it, thinking, it must be here, what am I looking for? And it turns out I was overthinking it, and the actual solution was way simpler than I thought it was. Were those? I swear those weren't moving before. They were wrong. Yes. Made it. Yes, made it. I reckon, is that going to be it? That's the level done. Yeah, thanks for the assist. Oh my goodness. I'd have been like, wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? Yeah, and especially because, again, with this game, I think the puzzles are, for the most part, are really simple. You know, there's nothing too complicated. But you know, when you end up playing, like, games with more complicated puzzles, you overthink it because you think to yourself, no, 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 there's no way it's that easy. You kind of justify to yourself, no, I can't go. Yeah. And like I say, Immortals, you know, it's a good game, a lot of fun. So, and some of the puzzles there, like I was like, oh, I have to pick this thing up. That's definitely something. You overthink it. You spend so much time trying to do one thing and you're like, nope, it's just there. I forget what it is, but there's one puzzle where I spent like 20 minutes, half an hour looking for something, and it turns out I just needed to like walk to something and press triangle. But in my head I was like, well, there's no way it's that simple. It can't be that, so I'm not going to try that. I felt so much shame. Especially when you're on stream, you know, you're like, yep. Again, it's all part of the fun. Yeah, there's another bit of that. I mean, but so what's your go-to game? What's the thing you're playing the most? Yeah, do you know? And again, I won't spoil anything for you. I think, I don't know why at first. Oh yeah. I think that's the thing, you know, like it tends to be you get a sport game that you play a lot. Yeah, at first I was kind of like, it's okay. I don't know why I seemingly had an issue with Immortals. I think I let people say to me, yeah, it's okay. And I didn't give it the attention it deserved. And then having actually played it all the way through, I think it's that it's a good mix of easy and difficult. I think if you've played, stuff like it before, but I also think that it's in a way that you don't sit there and think, oh, they've just borrowed this idea. They kind of take some of the better elements of like the Assassin's Creed games and then apply them to their game. Oh, I'm going to miss that. No. Yeah, definitely. I think you can make your mind up about how you want to play it. I think you can level, and you can do like a load of the vaults and things like that, and search around. And I think if you do that, the main game becomes easier. But I did it blind. I no guide. I didn't really watch anybody. I watched some people play through the puzzles, but I didn't watch anybody from start to finish. I kind of jumped into streams and saw particular parts. So the one thing I would say is, like after the first god that you save, there are kind of two options. How do I say this? Do you know what? I won't say. But after you save the first god, if you want to drop me like a whisper or whatever, or a DM on Discord, I'll say to you which one it should be, because I did the more difficult one, and then it meant that area was way tougher for me. But I enjoyed the challenge. I think it was a good mix. I think if you take on the other one, you're progressing with the story, and I think you can play the game all the way through, follow the normal pattern, not necessarily sit there and level and play a lot of the level, play a lot of the vaults and do a lot of the searching, and I think you still have a game that is challenging but also doesn't break your heart, doesn't, punish you for small mistakes. I think it's that thing of, you played Ghost, you know that if you walk around and you're not on your game, you could get killed quite easily. And I say the same thing with Immortals. I think when there are points in the game where if you're not paying attention, the things that you think are easy, and you'll be like, oh, I'll just stroll through this area, no worries, I'll kill 12 of these things or whatever. They'll get you if you're not paying attention. So for me, like, the final boss was tough. It wasn't impossible. It would have been easier if I'd have gone and done more vaults and things like that. But I think I put about 38 hours into it in total, all on stream, with a couple of bits where, like, there's somebody who follows me, and she offered a little bit of help, because there were some bits where I was like, well, where's this chest? I can see that. But apart from that, it was like a blind playthrough. I didn't know what the best armor was. I didn't know what the best weapons were. And I think that for me made it more enjoyable, that it was that good mix. Yeah, and I think the story is quite cool as well. Like I said, I would say it's a better game than people gave it credit for. And then everyone who I know who's played it enjoyed it. And how is FIFA on next gen? Yeah, okay, see, and that would be a thing of, sorry, I'm like pointing at you. That would be a thing that I'd say, if you like the sense of humour, then you're good. Because it doesn't really get any, it like keeps on that tone. And I think the thing is, the tone is so well done that it could have been cheesy, but I actually think I really like the way they did it. And strangely, there are times that it reminds me of Fable. You know, the combat's not quite the same, but it still kind of has that humor about it. The style of the world, which you've seen because you've played the prologue, kind of has that vibe to it. But yeah, no, like I say, I really enjoyed it, and I think the sense of humor fits the game perfectly. Oh, that's cool. Oh, what happened there? I fell. Yeah. I mean, Mass Effect, I think that's going to be something special. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so again, this is my poor understanding of these things. Do we know, are we getting Monster Hunter across, is it on PS4 or is it, PS5 sorry, or is it just, Switch? That's the thing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Because Monster Hunter World is the one that I have, and I've never played it before. And I really liked. I think that's a lot of fun. Again, I think that's one of those things where I reckon it's probably a lot better with other people. Especially because the hunts take a lot. And it's a fair amount of effort. You know, you kind of, I feel like you have to a little bit do your research beforehand. Yeah. I mean, listen, like I say, I enjoyed it as an experience. It's just that I think the grind is probably a lot worse if you're without people. Yeah. And I suppose it is that thing as well, like, the over-reliance, for me anyway, was like, I had to rely on, I had to double-check a guide, and it said, this is the best thing to take for this, make sure you prep this. You know, there's a lot of preemptive information. Like, you know you're going to go and fight an Anjanath or whatever. I mean, just as a arbitrary example. No, can't do that. You know, like, then having to plan ahead for it and just make sure, right, you've got resistance to this or whatever. There you go, that was totally worth it. Oh, I'm gonna fall. Right. Yeah, and I think, because I don't know how many others were on, like, PlayStation consoles. I think that maybe doesn't help. Sometimes, you know, it's too easy to play. How do I get that? Oh, not like that. It's too easy. It's a bit easy to dismiss an experience because you can't play it on that console or whatever, you know? It's annoying because I think I got the Iceborne DLC. Oh, that is not how to do that. I think I got the Iceborne DLC and I just haven't played it. I think, you know, like I say, this is part of the reason why I want to play this. I want to finish this. And I started playing Final Fantasy IX. Just like I've been playing that as well as... What do I need to do? Oh, how did he fall there? Oh, I see what I need to do. But you know, it goes back to what we were saying earlier. There's so many games to play. I'm pleased that for the most part... No, that's not going to work. I'm pleased for the most part that I managed to play a lot of the PS5 stuff and finish it. Like I finished Miles Morales, and I really, really enjoyed that story. And I'm glad that it wasn't like too huge. Again, I don't feel like, oh shit, this is a massive undertaking. I think the only thing that annoyed me about Miles Morales is that was the one game that I experienced crashes with. I was quite lucky. Aha, I didn't see this before. I was quite lucky that I didn't have any system crashes for the most part, but Miles Morales was the one that seemed to do it. And it did it. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that that experience was what was it? What it was. Okay, I already got that bit. I need to recapture that. But yeah, that was the one I had crashes with. So what would happen is I would finish playing that game, and then next thing I would play would immediately crash. And I was like, well, this is weird. Then it happened once while I was actually playing. I was on a building and then it just stopped. And then it did it and I was like, what the hell? But that was the only one it happened to. And then when they patched it, and I can't remember when they did, then it stopped doing it. And it's been alright since. You know, and sometimes I just go back just to play and web slinging around New York and Brooklyn. And Hell's Kitchen, you know. And I think, I mean, it seems like they've managed to fix a lot of those. Oh, right, okay. You had the similar crashes, but with the remaster. And it's like, I don't even know why they started, you know, okay. Alright. So I'd thought to myself, I know the rest mode thing was an issue for a while. For some people. Need to fall and do that. There you go. There we go. Oh, because you know, like I said, I hadn't heard about like dashboard issues. Like I said, I'm glad that we've seen the back of them now. So hopefully, that is, you know, that's it. Them done. Like I say, for me, I had put mine down to rest mode initially. I thought to myself, I swear to you, it's every time I go to rest mode. But actually, yeah. See, now I thought that that's possibly what was doing it for me, because it seemed to be like Astros was fine. It seemed to be any game that had a PS4 version. Didn't happen to me with 2K, and I think it's because the 2K version that you get is like a completely different image. I didn't even see that. Silly. Yeah, because so 2K it was you had a different like dashboard. You knew that you weren't in the right version. But yeah, it seemed like oh shit. Yeah, it was obvious that you weren't in the right version. Hold on, what am I missing? I'm missing something. No, that was avoidable. Yeah. The hell? Yeah. Exactly, yeah, like 2K was like Zion Williamson on the next gen version. And then you had Damian Lillard on the current gen, so you knew, like you say, immediately you knew which version was the right version. But some of those others, like I think even with Sackboy, I had to change it a couple with this. I had to manually change it a couple of times, and it would just default. But I'm glad, like I said, again, I'm glad that they managed to fix it, and that we don't seem to be in that problem anymore. Well, that's smart. I like that. It's a nice little touch. And again, it's one of those things where you think to yourself, you spent enough money on a console, it should know which version you're playing, but it is what it is.
Oh, there you are, fellow explorer. I'm afraid this place is crawling with dawdlers, but I won't let them trap me again. Oh no, not this time. The uproar is discombobulating the whole of Craftworld. Dawdlers everywhere, and even the nice artificious lady who runs this place is behaving oddly. I'll look into this matter as soon as I get down from here. In the meantime, how would you like this memento I found, I believe it's a space cannonball, no doubt shot from one of the rocket ships that docks here. Now, back to work.
I mean, that must be... Oh, right, okay.
Anyhow, ciao for now.
I've been jarring as well, man. Oh. How is the VR? Is it good? Because again, you know, this is my my lack of understanding around it. I just unfairly look at that as very much a... I looked at that as very much a fad. Obviously it's not, because, you know, they're still invested in it, still making games for it, so... Nice. And obviously, I mean, it sounds like they said they were making more... They're making a new... Is it a newer version, or they're updating what is there now? There you go. Would you say it's worth the money? Okay. That's the thing again, I know, you know, a lot of people have the Oculus, and it's interesting that it's still being used and still being made for. But again, unfairly, I kind of mentally put it down as a fad for myself, which is unfair. Not quite enough for the full level thing. Yeah, and I know, like, my nephew said that, like, the Iron Man VR was quite cool as well. And it's interesting because it looks like they don't charge you as much. Yeah, yeah. I think that's another thing as well, you know, it's just, it's the money and then it's the type. So in my head, I have to look at it like I need to know that it would be something that I would play with. Which, you know, especially with like a kid, isn't always the case. You know, your Saturdays and Sundays are mostly taken up entertaining. So yeah, it's just, it's tough, and there are so many good games. Yeah, okay. Like you mentioned Tomb Raider, that's made me think about those. I got Shadow and Rise. It's still on my list of stuff to play. You know, I know those games are good, and they're so like I enjoy them so much. Oh, being chased. Can I fire that? Not gonna make that. Yeah, okay. And I suppose that's the thing as well, like, it's seemingly that those VR games are not that same full price, you know? I don't know how I'm gonna get there. I missed that. They could push the consoles too far. Oh, okay. As in terms of just like the quality of the game. I was not concentrating, sorry. Yeah, okay, yeah. But this is the thing, you know, I played the 2018, like that Sackboy anniversary remake. I had that on Xbox 360. What the hell happened there? What did I get hit by? Like the relaunch Tomb Raider. I had it on the 360 and then it was just one of those things where it's just in between consoles. And I just didn't play it because I was like, well, I'm getting PlayStation 4. Oh no. Oh, I thought I'd catch that. Yeah, okay. And that's the thing, you know, like that experience as well. Seeing the graphical changes, seeing how good like Ghost looked on like scaled up 4K like that, I was like, man, this is how I should have played it the first time round. And Ghost was one of those ones where that's the last PlayStation game I finished, PlayStation 4. I actually ended up finishing it, so I had days off because I knew the console was coming. I took time off specifically. I thought to myself, I'm going to finish this game before PlayStation 5 comes out. I didn't. I finished Ghost on PS5. But that in 4K was something else. No, I missed a load of those things, didn't I? Yeah, 4K. Oh, and like, is it? I just made it optimize the graphics, and it was something else. That was a hell of an experience. You know, like to see it, the frames look that good. It looked so sharp. It looked like how I'm sure PC games look for people. But yeah, I just couldn't believe the resolution. And it was that funny thing of, yeah, exactly, same thing. Because I said to myself, I'm determined to finish Ghost. You know, I'll try and clock everything that I need to finish. You know, did that thing with, again, 2K, because there were parts of it that transferred over. So like, you know, like you've got Ultimate Team for FIFA. There's a similar thing with, like, you know, you've got packets of cards, you open them up and then you're making like a dream team. So I was doing that because I knew that that progress carried over. And same as you would get the currency in the game, you would carry that over in your wallet, as they called it, in your virtual currency wallet. But then that meant that then starting the new game on the PS5, you'd be like next level. Yeah, so that's the thing. I played Miles Morales in both settings to see which I preferred. And I think it's that weird thing of, like, for me, I kind of want to see it looking the best way it possibly can. Like, I started playing Control, not on stream, and I put it in the graphics mode because I thought, actually, you know what? Let me see it the best that it can possibly look. I know it's that thing that then when you play it in performance mode, you see how much quicker it moves. But I kind of like. Oh shit! I've missed a simple jump. I'm too busy talking. Sorry, my bad. I kind of like that you're getting, like you say, the best way it looks. And also, you know, I don't know if you've seen a lot of people talking about it recently, but realistically, technically, in terms of how your eyes view content, like 60 frames per second doesn't really work for the human eye, is what I was reading the other day, or hearing from other people on Twitter. And I was like, damn. We're going to fight this AI, aren't we? Yeah, and like, you know, the ray tracing on Control, like the Ultimate Edition, like those reflections in stuff, oh man, there's something else.
You are seeking Vex, my new master, bringer of chaos, overlord of the uproar. He is busy how we dwindle, one by one. Please stand still while I obliterate you. Thank you for your cooperation.
Oh man.
I will research your molecules into the sun.
Let's see movement on some of them.
Entering admin mode.
It's some weird that they haven't entirely allowed that for every single game, that they probably could.
I cannot permit you to shut down my program. Anti-Sackboy measures engaged.
Yeah, and I don't know why. Again, I wonder if that's them making that decision, because otherwise, why would you not want everything to look good on your console? And as people are saying, you know, like like they can't think of any actually valid reason as to why it wouldn't be possible. It does seem really odd. It seems like an odd choice. And again, it must be about something for either what they have planned, or there is some logic as to why. And I don't even think it's like the teraflops issue. The people are saying it's about how it chooses to use it. Yeah. Yeah.
Goodbye. We hope you have enjoyed your stay. Primary user detected. Entering admin mode.
Oh no. Yeah, like I say, that library thing needs some work. It's like where PlayStation was saying like, oh yeah, not every single game is compatible, but the number is quite big anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think it's annoying because there was talk, wasn't there talk at one point of them doing like a virtual console as well, and people saw like patents for stuff. I don't understand how they haven't done something like that. It's clearly something that people are interested in. So it's kind of like I say, it's kind of disappointing that at this point, it's just not even something that we're gonna get.
Ah, that's better.
And it is weird as well
Thanks
that
for
like
clearing
PS
up my
now
code, space traveler. I mean,
is
what was
kind
all
of
that
like a
about?
virtual console,
Talk
but not
about
properly.
acting crazy, right?
And I know some people
suppose I
say
better
that it's
start repairs.
frustrating because
There is a
you can
lot
get
of work to
stuff
do.
on
So
PS
good
Plus
luck, and
PS
I
Now.
hope you explode in a hail
And
of
quite often
lasers. Just
they're
kidding,
games
just
that haven't
kidding,
been
I'm
out
fun.
that long or whatever. But it's like, why not make those games available like that? Because then you're not rendering it. Yeah, or even that. So odd. Yeah, so I suppose we'll see. Like I say, again, maybe it's just that there's future plans that we don't know about, and I hope that's what it is. And I hope it's that we might have some of the information right. Just don't quite know yet. Again, it's difficult to tell. And I suppose they need the world to be somewhat in a normal situation, so they know what their sales are going to be like, and they can trust that people will be out buying games and the games will be produced and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Look at the witless walking
And do you know,
now. Lost and confused. Maybe the
I
plans
have
you
a
stole will
Raspberry
tell you
Pi.
what
I'm
to
not sure if
do
I get in trouble
next.
for this.
You know, the plans
hope not.
I
Anyway.
carelessly dropped. The ones that led you all the way
You know,
here.
because
I needed someone pure, you
there are a
see.
load of games that
Someone
I
who
physically
could
own,
collect all those dreamer
but
orbs. It's the only
connecting
thing that can bring the
a
toxic
NES or a
turbine to
SNES or a
life.
Mega Drive
After
or
all you've done,
the Dreamcast or a
you're nothing but
GameCube.
glorified
It's not that straightforward. I know you can buy adapters, but then it's like running them and space running, all this kind of stuff. And I have that because that's the way to do it. And I love that. I built it myself. Well, for the most part, built it myself. Like I built the case with all those kind of things. Put a heatsink on it.
Every fear, every nightmare will become reality.
But you know, I didn't realise how
This is going
big
to be
the
fun.
retro community
I'll be
was.
sure to
It's
tell all
amazing
your
how
friends what you did.
people have love for them. Yeah, I hope so. Because there's clearly a market for people playing older
This is
games.
my fault. I should have seen what he was up to. But there's no point feeling
There are
sorry for
people
ourselves. There's
who
still work to do.
would love
Vex said he's
go
going
back and
after
play
the
those
Tree
games.
of Imagination, which means traveling to the center of Craftworld itself.
you know, like the SNES Mini,
A machine
the
can be turned off
NES Mini,
after
the
all.
Mega Drive ones. All of those sold really well. And people have used Twitch as an opportunity to show off and play them. Yeah, it's like, I just don't understand how they can be, like, they just miss out on that, in my mind. I mean, like we were saying, maybe there are plans that we just don't know about. And I hope so, because it is weird, because I think there are some there's some games on the store that are old ports or old games. A Craftworld. There you go, we go. Oh. Yeah, and that is the thing, you know, so I played, you know, I mentioned Metal Gear Solid earlier, the GameCube port. Yeah, and that's the thing, it's not like people don't like them. I think sometimes that is the risk, though, you know, when it's on original hardware, or as close to, people are kind of more inclined to be okay with it. I think when you have modern consoles, if it depends on what they're doing with them. If it's, like I say, if it's a port, I think people are more okay with it. I think, you know, like Shenmue 3, a lot of people struggled with that, but because the game was deliberately working on the principle
Passengers now waiting at Nightmare Station. A thrilling,
that
terrifying, and twisted
it was going to even remotely look like modern approach to playing the game, rather than that, like even the movement and the combat being more not traditional, and that's not the word I mean, but it's kind of tied into how it used to play. It's designed in the principle to feel like that engine, even though it was made not that long ago. And I think it is that thing of like, some people do want that. I should have jumped. Oh well. Oh, I did jump apparently.
Uproar Express offers all passengers a complimentary service of horror, panic, and despair.
I didn't know what was happening there.
Welcome back aboard the Uproar Express.
But yeah,
Sackboy
I think you can feel the difference. So like I say, that GameCube port of Metal Gear Solid, found it a bit rough. I didn't think it was the easiest thing. Yeah, sometimes it does feel rough. Like the... I think playing Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation, you can appreciate how it works in that. I think when I then played the GameCube port, it felt rough, but because I think possibly I was expecting a different experience. I think, like I say, Shenmue, you can play that and you can make sense of that. At the time, I think if you use it by modern standards, it just feels like a horrible game, or it feels like, not a horrible game, sorry, but the movement is rough. It doesn't feel smooth. Nothing about it feels straightforward, and especially, you know, like you would walk forward and then turn left, but by modern standards you are expecting walk forward and turn left to feel like, you know, how it is here. I walk forward and turn left, not I walk forward and then I separately turn left, because they're not one and the same movement. They are two separate movements, and that can feel a bit rough.
And wait to be crushed. Thank you.
I think, yeah, like I say, I mean, it does depend on how you look at it, and obviously there is a way to do that. Yeah, but look at Cuphead, for example. Very much built in the principle of old games, but using modern technology. Modern techniques, and they, from my understanding of what people have found with that is, it does it in such a way that, like, you're like, yeah, I love this. Oh, missed it.
Will terminate at the next stop, and so will you.
Yeah, and I think, you know, like, Hades is another one where, I think it looks pretty. You know, the thing is about the gameplay, not necessarily how good it looks.
Sackboy. Bet you're feeling pretty pleased with yourself getting all the way here. But we're just getting warmed up.
Oh, interesting. So, I'm guessing. Am I in the last area? I think I am, aren't I? Yeah, I mean, like I say, I think, so I did start the other day, Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I am playing it on the Game Boy. So I might actually continue with that, you know, because I think...
Hello, Zoom Zoom's boasts a very finest selection of outfits in the whole of the Imagisphere. Save Craft World.
I actually think I'm kind of liking
style.
the action adventure / RPG game. I might have a couple of days where it's Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening and a couple of days where it's Final Fantasy 9 and kind of mix it up that way. Yeah, I was also contemplating playing Persona, but then I saw somebody else playing Persona and I was like, oh, do I want to play this and then do I want to play Royal? I've heard Royal's the better game. It's like, yeah, so much. It's like we were talking about before. So many games to play. It makes it so tough to make a decision. I think, like I say, for the time being, I'll be playing Zelda Link's Awakening, and yeah, she was exactly that. And then I think to myself, oh, am I like accidentally inspired? And I don't want to borrow somebody else's idea. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think because I was enjoying Link's Awakening, I'll probably play that, and I'll probably play Final Fantasy 9. And those will be the two I'll be playing for a while. I was having like Fridays as Fall Guys, and oh shit! I didn't even realise what was happening. I was playing Fall Guys. I've done it again. Playing Fall Guys and Destruction All Stars. But actually, you know, I was enjoying them. I wasn't loving the experience. And there are so many people that are a lot better at those games than me. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm going to play what I really like. And I probably will go back to God of War. Yeah. Do you ever see? Listen, it's good. Again, I think with friends, it's much more enjoyable. If I'm honest, I don't see where the mileage is with that game. And I'm sure there are people who probably like, how can you say that? Or people who might feel differently. It's just that, like, from my view, there's some fun modes that are in that game. But I feel like when you've played them, unless you feel like, yeah, I can really, really do that.
Good to see you, my fellow explorer.
Yeah, I think unless
After Vex turned
you
on that machine,
feel
I
like
feared the
you're
worst.
trophy hunting,
The centre of Craft World is usually such a joyful
I don't know where the
place.
mileage is. I think you'll play like there's modes called Mayhem.
I only hope the Tree of Imagination is in good health.
Where
if
you know it's just craziness and it's a lot of fun.
That would be disastrous.
I actually feel like if you were playing it couch co-op,
I think this apple-like fruit may be from the tree itself.
Or you know people in the room, I think it's probably more fun. Yeah, like I say, I just don't know what more you can do with that game. I think it's just because that is the type of game it is. There we go. Trying to think if you've ever played like Destruction Derby. It's kind of got that vibe to it. It's very much in the battle royale, winner takes all kind of thing. Yeah, literally that was my feeling on it. I played it for about a week. I enjoyed it, but then I was weirdly trying to find mileage in it that I didn't think was there. And I think for me, it wasn't the thing. Like I won one race in playing it. And I kind of was like, yeah, well, cool, I've done it now. I've won a race. And then I kind of didn't give it much else to it. And like I say, listen, there are a lot of people. Fall Guys is fun with friends. I think Fall Guys is a good game to play. But I think there are so many people better at it than me. And also to put it on stream, I think if you're going to do it on stream, you need to have a community you're playing with. Because then the joke, the humour or the fun in it is about who does well, who does terrible. It's not about trying to get those crowns or whatever. Like I say, absolutely no slight on anybody who plays it, yeah. It's like I say, there are some people who are so very good at it. And that's the thing as well, like, I think because now you can get crowns, for leveling or reaching levels and things like that. I think it's fine, you know. I think, if I'm honest, I'd happily play with other people, but I wouldn't make it the focus of my stream. And I think probably my own misunderstanding of what I should be streaming, you know. And like I say, it's that thing that when you learn within yourself of, right, actually, this is how I get engagement, and like the people that have come along and stayed, it's normally been something that is a bit deeper. And again, not slighting anybody. It's like you can see some people are much better at other things than I am, and I'm alright with that. And I think, like I say, the stream itself should be about, this is what I enjoy, and they can see that, and then you're more engaged with it, and they're more engaged with you because of that. Oh, damn it. Like, I really enjoyed Detroit Become Human, and I'd like to play something like that again. You know, because even that, in terms of story, yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes, and again, it's not even about sponsorship or anything like that. Sometimes you feel like you can see some of the bigger streamers are playing something that maybe they have had a code for, or something, you know, like they're playing that. I know a lot of people play Valheim. My biggest problem is it's been a long time since I've specifically gamed on like PC. Well, wait, what? I was not expecting this. Oh man. Yeah, and do you know, that game surprised me. I did not think I was going to enjoy that game as much as I did, and genuinely thought to myself, oh man, I sincerely hope I keep Connor alive in this chapter or whatever, you know. I love the branching storylines. I think that's such a underutilized thing nowadays. Oh man. Yeah. And I also think as well, in terms of how that plays, is quite similar to some older games. You know, and you can see there they really wanted to make the story the focus, but it still looks really pretty. You know, it's not a bad looking game by any stretch of the imagination. Oh no! Damn it. Yeah, so okay, like I have I think I have Heavy Rain because it was on PS Plus. And it is funny because, again, Detroit was on there, and I think I wouldn't have played it if it wasn't. But now that I know there's a similar vibe in Heavy Rain, it means I'm way more likely to play that. Damn it, I need that. Yeah, it means I'm way more likely to play it. And again, that's another one of those things where sometimes if you think to yourself about a gaming experience, I think I might have been more on Twitch at that point. I probably would have been more likely to play it beforehand, rather than it being something that I accidentally played because I was like, oh, let's see what this game's about. And then, like, the level of depth to it, and the complexity in it, like I say, you kind of think you know where the story's going, and it does what it does. Yeah, so again, not that I don't have the patience to play through it again. I think the library's so big, you think to yourself, I've got to play something else. I would say the same thing. I'm kind of satisfied with where all of the characters got. I think in terms of the conclusion for me, I'm very happy with it. I don't think there was anything that I felt like, oh, drastically I should have changed. And I think, you know, the Telltale games, like I'd like to go back to that. I was playing I played the Batman game and I finished it, but I know that there's another. So I know that is like the first chapter. So I again, it's another one where I'm like, maybe I'll go back to that. Why can't I go and do this one? Oh, just weird. Yeah. And like I say, I think maybe I'd be tempted to go back to the Batman one. Okay. But this is the thing, I think in terms of it being a Telltale game, I would argue that the Batman one, at least the first one, felt like easier to me. I feel like the stakes weren't as... I feel like the stakes in it were different. You know, like Walking Dead, it's like you made a mistake and then somebody's dead and they're dead for good. Oh, nice. So again, I think that's one where I'd like to play the second chapter for it. And it is funny because like Final Fantasy IX, as I said, like that was one of those games where unfortunately I missed. Just because the timing of it, I think I'd started working. Yeah, I would say definitely so. I found it to be like the speed at which you have to react on those Walking Dead games is a lot quicker. I feel like they're probably the least forgiving. I feel like Batman allows you to make mistakes, a fair amount more mistakes. Also feel like, because they did a Game of Thrones one, and I feel like the Game of Thrones one, it didn't have the same feeling to it. But yeah, the Walking Dead ones, man, there is stuff that you decide on, and they carry it over, and you think to yourself, I can't believe, like, what I did there has had such an impact on something later on. Again, at another point in the game, another point in the series. I think, oh yeah, I thought I'd done enough to save Jeff or whatever. You know, and you're just like, I can't believe that I didn't do it. Again, especially with those like branching storylines, sometimes you think to yourself, well actually I'll go back and play it again. Yeah, okay. See, that was my thing. So I think I played the first Walking Dead and I enjoyed it. And then I played the Game of Thrones ones and I was like, I don't like this. Maybe these games aren't for me. Then went back and played Walking Dead 2 and I was just like, man, okay. Clearly, this is where the skill is. This is where they spent the time. I don't know if it's the influence of the TV show. Like, with at least with Walking Dead. Do I have to go here first? I'll go back. With Walking Dead, I wonder if there is a degree of the influence of the show impacting on what happened or how that game was built. Because I would argue that it feels like they try and bring in characters into that Telltale game because they were popular in the show. And then it doesn't really make sense because it doesn't really bother to tell its own story. Or it does, but then the story doesn't feel like it has the same amount of value to it. You know, it just doesn't feel like they are trying to tell their own story. And like I say, maybe it's unfair, maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just feel like it never felt to me like it was its own separate thing. And I think you get that with Walking Dead. Yeah. Because Walking Dead doesn't even try and attempt to bring in, or at least I don't think it does. Maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think it tried to bring in like Rick or anybody like that. And what happens to you is very much always going to follow that person's story. And what they do to then follow that story along, like I say, it just has so much depth to it. So I think that's probably why they're people's like favourite one. Yeah, and like I said, I enjoyed Batman. So it's I'm glad that you said that the second one's better, because I think definitely I'll look and see, because that might have to go in the planned games. Yeah, and especially because now I think I'm fast approaching the point where all of the true PS5 games are finished. You know, once this is done, I think everything else is either... Yeah, I think everything else is either a game that is replayable or sports game, yeah, or WRC9. Which, to be honest, like, again, it's one of those things where I'm not sure, like, rallying is conducive to a stream. Just because the amount of concentration that you need to play a rallying game. You know, like, if you take a corner at the wrong speed, that's it. Something here. How do I get up there? Oh no. Yeah. Now see, I went a long time without playing a Gran Turismo game. Yeah, I think it's gonna look... It's the kind of thing where people are like, wow, okay, this is what games can look like. Yeah, and you know, it's weird because I think everybody was waiting on news about that state of play. Again, I wonder if they're being coy with some of the stuff that they have coming up. Because like Ratchet and Clank, we didn't see any more information about it. Because I think possibly they're not just going to tell... Right now, they're not going to tell us anytime soon. Yeah. This is the thing. I mean, yeah, it's really tough. And I hope it's not because they haven't got stuff to show. I really hope it's because they are being cautious with how much they're telling us. Shit, that was avoidable. Yeah, I hope that's why, because otherwise it just doesn't make any sense. Are you stuck? I wonder. Yeah, and yeah. You see, and that's the thing for me, is that I wonder if it's just that they don't want to tell us, because then we'll be super hyped when it's coming, like, for real. I'm stuck. What's happening there? Okay. Yeah, so Second Son was really enjoyable. I didn't play First Light, and I feel like I should have done. Oh shit. I can't believe that's how I gonna get a game over on that. We'll go again. Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to get another Infamous game. And I like that, you know, you can play it good, you can play it bad. You can kind of play it in the middle, but it doesn't really benefit. What's to do? Yeah. Yeah, and I wonder if there's that element to it as well, because again, it's tough to have that many games produced and then them sit there and not do anything with it. It's annoying. Yeah, and I suppose it is that thing where, you know, like I say, you just have games set on shut. And you don't even have the value of knowing that there is resale value for people. Yeah. But I think, like I say, hopefully we will see something soon. I find it really, really a weird time. This might be the longest that people have gone where, you know, after launch, the seeming wait is big for like new. Yeah, the wait feels really, really long. Yeah, and obviously now where they've said they're just going, that is not the way to do that. Where they're just going online, and I think even that stigma's changed. You know, I don't think you need to have some massive expo. I think you can do online. I think you can have that interest. I think if they want to make money, they're concerned about that. Then you can sell like tickets and do it. That online is the key thing. Because, you know, they could do like virtual ticketing. They could do you can tell I'm getting a bit tired. You know, like do the event is virtual. You want to see it first. Here's when you need to watch it. Otherwise, you have to wait 2 days before we can release videos or something. And I'm sure people will leak some things, but you take that approach. You appreciate that there might be a risk to it. And I always feel like if you do that, you get the same level of interest. They'll still make money. I can't make that jump. They'll still make money. They'll still have people who are interested. But you just rethink the model. That way, exhibitors or games companies or cinema companies, you know, production companies, and wow, that was terrible. And still push the information on their stuff, and they can do it in a way with engagement. Like I say, you can market it in a way that it's all virtual, and this is the approach that we're going to take, and still make it a big thing. It doesn't have to be in a physical building, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens, man. I think if I die again, I might have to quit. Not through any frustration, just because I think tiredness is setting in. And silly mistakes are happening. Also, I'm racking my brain, but I'm like, how do I get that one? Yeah, and like, yeah, I am, yeah. It's just hit 11. I think it's that funny thing where you, well, I mean, I do anyway. Hit like stream fatigue. Whereabouts are you based? Sorry, and I'm not sure if you feel comfortable saying it, obviously. How am I missing that? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Been working like pretty much normal hours, man. And then also homeschooling, you know? What about yourself? Oh my goodness. Oh man, you know, my stepmom used to do that, and I just think, I remember what she went through when it wasn't even, you know, unfortunately COVID times, and man, like, props to you, because I know that's not an easy job in normal times. It must be even tougher now, so, yeah. Just bash there. And I suppose, you know, it's that thing where I sincerely hope we've got an end in sight, you know? But everybody's, yeah. Yeah. But I think, you know, like, I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's that thing where I know as much as it was stressful and all that other stuff, she found it super rewarding. And I think because you get so many different characters, and obviously, like I say, some are easier than others. Yeah. Yeah, and especially, I know, like, and again, probably, oh, am I not making that jump? Especially because some of them, so many interesting stories, and I've been through some real stuff now, you know. Because clearly there is something there. Oh, run, Sackboy! Yeah, like I say, some of those people in there, such interesting lives, and yeah, I know it can be tough as well, because you have some of them where you have a great relationship with them, and for whatever reason, on that day, they are just like not how they normally are. It can be a lot to take, man. I think as well, you know, like, that's another job where people don't realise, and not to get too depressing or heavy, you know, some of the stuff that you have to deal with that you probably don't even tell people, you know, that's some next level stuff. Good. So I work for a children's charity. It's very much, but what I do is I manage the finance systems. It's very techy, but it's so that the people out in the business can go and do what they need to do, in the charity can go and do what they need to do, you know. And help a lot of those youngsters. So, because you know, like, some of the big focus has been on county lines. I'm not sure if you know about that. So yeah, I mean, like I say, what I do in comparison to some of those others in the organisation is not small fry, but you know, like I say, we make sure our systems work so they can go and do what they need to do and help young people get away from bad situations. So yeah. Listen, my dude, I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I'm probably going to wrap up now. I need to try and find somebody to raid, so let's have a look, see who's around. And I think probably what I'll do is I'll try and finish this game tomorrow. Thanks, and like I say, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you spending the time. Appreciate chatting. I think it's good to talk to some new people. Let's see who is on. Oh, hey. Find if. See, what we're gonna go and raid Biotic. Let's see. So. Hopefully that works. Yes. Okay. So use that as a command. So you never know if it oh so I think the ironic thing is this might not work because I think Biotic is raiding. I'm not sure. Will that work? Or is it gonna catch Biotic as he's raiding? Yeah. I think that's literally what's just happened.